First Steps podcast is back to boldly go where?
Well, we kind of have gone once.
Some people have gone before. We are going to talk about the brand new show, Star Trek Strange New Worlds from Paramount Plus. We watched the first episode, so let's talk about it. My name is Eric.
I'm Keith.
And this is First Steps. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of First Eps. We're here to talk about a brand new Star Trek series. I know we're both super excited about that. We're both kind of like, fans of the series. But how you been? Where you could see that we are apart today. If you're watching this via the YouTube or the Fruit Lab, we're not together. Not at First.
It breaks our
Central.
hearts.
It does, yeah. So I have a bit of a cold, not COVID, so that's good. But
you've gotten 2 tests now, right? That have proven that.
It has proven that, so that's good. But yeah, it was a bit of a rough week. So my son had a really bad cold. He had like a fever of 104. My wife is out of town, and then I'm just with him like the entire time. Like he's just breathing into my mouth, and I'm like, I'm gonna get sick. I know it. And then and then a day later, this is how I sound.
Is he on any medication or
no? He just was taking Motrin, and that
you're doing the same now.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I should be taking probably more, some sort of thing to help with the congestion, because that's the biggest thing. Very congested. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well,
in
sinus
this area,
weather too now. So
it feels,
on top of it,
it's very pressure filled.
Oh yeah. What about what is that? The Flonase. The Flonase. I take it for everything. It's like Windex. Use it for everything.
It's like you spray it up there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that.
You'll feel instant relief. It's amazing.
It goes like down your throat. Oh,
yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Gross.
Once you get used to that, you can't get off of it. It's amazing.
I don't like it. I'll do that with chocolate syrup. Does that work as well?
I don't even know how to respond to that.
How have you been? You been all right? You haven't been sick.
No,
you've been much better than me.
We've been pretty good.
Well, that's good.
Knock on wood. Yeah, everything's been just fine. So did you go to Mother's Day stuff or not?
No.
Yeah.
It was just with sickness. That was when my kid was like, it was the peak of his sickness. So we didn't know what it was. We didn't want to get anybody sick. So we had a lazy day.
Yep. All right. Well, I mean, at least you got to relax, I guess. I did that this weekend right now with mom, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But
Did you go to brunch?
We did.
Yep. Nice. Delicious.
Someplace in East Aurora, had pancakes. Took about an hour to get them because it was so busy, but it was fine. Yeah.
That shit's crazy. Those Mother's Day brunches are absurd.
Yeah.
All right. Enough about us.
Yes.
No one wants to hear that. They want to hear about Star Trek.
Yes. This is what they came for. Give the people what they want.
Yeah. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. The first episode just came out.
No
Paramount
idea
Plus. Yeah.
I had no idea.
When I was like, I want to watch Star Trek, and you're like, dude, that's really old. Star Trek is old. It's old news.
I thought it was Picard, and I'm like, well, I know that just came out, but that's already season in, so that's not following our the right script here. And then you're like, not Picard, and I'm like, what? How did I not see this? I can't even call myself a Trekkie and not have known this.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I had to, because I like Star Trek every once in a while, but like you love the Star Trek series. Not all of them.
But some of them, but yes, we've talked about it. Absolutely. Yeah. But yes.
So, all right, well, let's talk about the first episode.
Let's talk about this one.
One. Yes. So it starts out, it's got the old school, like Star Trek, like intro thing right off the bat, not part of the show, just like a little thing. And it shows like intro. I was like, all right, here we go. It's got the Star Trek emblem thing.
Yeah, it's almost like a Marvel production now.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's exactly what I thought. It was
the little away ship is like going around and faces out the little icon, the little Star Trek emblem.
It got me hyped up. I was like, that's really cool.
Me too.
But then the show starts out on a space station, and it's like these alien looking creatures, and they're talking about a first contact, and we don't know what's happening. Cuts away to Bear Creek, Montana, star date 1739.12.
So I know that day well.
I don't know what those star dates mean.
I don't either.
I'm sure like people that are much more knowledgeable in the Star Trek world will have gotten a lot more out of this series, because there were like a ton of Easter eggs and stuff like that. If you knew, you know, that, because this was like, that was the first thing. First of all, let's talk about, I didn't really know where this fit into the whole chronology. Is that a word?
Yeah, chronology,
the Star Trek world.
Trekology.
Yeah, the trekological map. So like I slowly throughout the episode kind of started getting it when we met some of the characters. But it took me a bit. And also I know the captain in this was also on Star Trek Discovery. Previously, which I've only seen, I think we watched maybe like the first two seasons or season and a half.
It was the second season, I guess. I didn't see the episode either, but
all right, so it starts out, Bear Creek, Montana. We got this bearded gentleman making breakfast, riding horses, a real man's man.
Right away, you knew. I'm like, this has got to be the captain, because I'm seeing he looks like he's a little weathered, you know, a little bit burnt out. But still a strong American type man, you know.
Exactly. Strong American. That's what Enterprise needs, it seems, from all these strong captains. American. Exactly. And then, so as he's out in his horse, a spaceship lands. The admiral, he says that you know, they lost contact with Rebecca Romaine. Now, he doesn't say Rebecca Romaine, but he says like her name, which I don't remember what it was.
Well, number one. It was the second in command.
Exactly. During a first contact mission. So you know, you could put together that this is maybe worth tying into that first scene.
And he's like, I gave it up. You gave me another week.
Exactly. Yeah. He's like, he didn't want to go. There's some trauma there that we didn't really know, but he's like, I don't wanna. You can't make me. And
just
then,
like that.
Boom, space, the final frontier. We do that whole thing. What'd you think of the theme music?
I liked it. Not as much as like the Next Generation.
Exactly.
Obviously.
It was good though, but it was not nearly up to that standard, that high standard.
You know, we'll talk about it more too. I wonder if that will grow too as we learn more about the characters.
That's a good point. Yeah. All right, and then after that, we go to Vulcan is our next locale, and
super sexy.
Yeah, we meet up with a couple of Vulcans there now
in the prime of their life.
Yeah, right away I'm like, I don't like Vulcans. They talk like assholes. I don't like the way they talk, and they're all query. Yeah, don't talk. I hate it. Just talk normal. Talk like a normal person.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was really funny.
I know a lot of people do. I never ever liked any Spock or any Vulcans in any of the show.
They're not American.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a true bearded American on a horse. Keep your pointy Vulcan. I mean, their ears are pointy. Their eyebrows are pointy. The girl's makeup was pointy. Spock's nips were pointy. Everything
very
was
severe.
Pointy.
Very severe nips. Yes.
Yeah. They took up like half his chest. And is that now you think that's like a Vulcan thing?
Is it? That's a Vulcan thing. Yeah. Large areola.
Yes. So this is Spock, the famous Spock that everybody knows, a younger version of this guy that we meet, and he's like with his girlfriend or whatever, and they're like talking like assholes. And next we cut back to a cleaned up captain, big beautiful hair. I love his hair.
Didn't recognize him. The hair was amazing. Hair goals. I mean,
dude.
Oh, who wouldn't want to look like that guy?
Yeah, so handsome. How old do you think that guy is? I looked it up.
I looked him up because I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I think was your guess?
No, he's 49. I don't know what. Did you think he was?
I forgot.
Did you think he was younger or older than you thought?
I thought he was gonna be older than that, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah. I thought he was just like a young looking older guy, but he looks great. 49.
Maybe Josh Brolin is 52. Is that what we learned from last time?
Maybe. Yeah. This dude I think looks better than Josh Brolin. Better hair.
Yeah, the hair did it. Yeah.
So he is has agreed to this mission to go on a hunt for the lieutenant, number one, Rebecca Romaine.
So I didn't realize it was her until about the last 10 minutes of the movie when I'm like, wait a minute, or the TV show. Yeah. It's like, it's not Rebecca Romaine Stamos, but it's not Stamos anymore.
Not Stamos anymore. No. It's weird how she'll always be Rebecca Romaine Stamos in our hearts and minds. It really does. But yeah, so now we meet the new crew. We get onto the Enterprise. We meet the crew. There's a new number one, Singh, I think her name was. And then we meet Uhura, the prodigy. So she's very young, so she's know her
really young. Did you look up how old she is in real life?
No, I didn't. She's like 19.
Pretty close. She's 22.
Really? Yeah, I just went younger because you prefaced it by saying she was young.
Like, I was looking at their ages just to learn, and I'm like, most of them are in their early 30s to mid 30s.
All right.
And some of them are in their late 20s, but she was quite the outlier at 22. I was like, wow, I thought she was like 28 or something too.
Any like standouts for you in the crew that you liked?
Mean, there are a couple obvious ones. The minute that we got to the doctor and the nurse, I was in love at first sight with those crazy kids.
We'll get to them because they're coming up in my notes.
Yes.
But yeah, how about you? Right away, I don't know. Like, I liked nothing. No one really stood out to me.
The captain only, probably, right?
Yeah, I thought the number one was like a little too gruff, a little too try hard. She grew on me throughout the episode.
Yep.
And then, we know how I feel about Spock.
And the thing is, I feel like both, like, it's interesting. Yeah. Like, I feel like you would gravitate towards someone like Worf, who they don't have currently, whereas there's like a big kind of burly guy.
Yeah.
Or a big burly woman. But right now they're all like, I guess the number one currently, she's tough, but she's more of like the live, like, kickboxer tough.
Yeah.
And then there's Spock, who's also tough, but more in the like knows where to attack kind of tough, not so much. Yeah, it's interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no Worf. They need to bring Michael Dorn in. Yeah. Show him what's up.
That'd be awesome.
So next up, we see like the captain is seeing like this weird face. He's having these flashbacks to like the Klingon planet that he was at, and turns out that he's seeing things. He saw his own death, and it's really like fucked him up. He's like having a hard time wrapping his brain around it.
Like, at first I thought it was having like telepathic powers coming into being, and I was excited.
No, it's just trauma. It's PTSD. Exactly. Not nearly as sexy.
No, it wasn't. I was like, ooh, interesting. What? Oh, I'm like,
Yeah. Okay, so and then we're already at the planet where they know that Rebecca Romaine has gone missing, and they realize when they get there that they initially went there to make first contact because that's how it works. When a planet creates a warp drive, when Star Trek goes there and they talk to them. Turns out they didn't make a warp drive, they made a warp bomb.
Yeah.
Because there was like this whole civil war happening.
Yes.
So their plan is to go down to the planet, figure things out. This is where we meet our doctor and the special disguise maker. Now, has there ever been a disguise maker on a Star Trek show? So
no, but Nurse Chapel was on the original Star Trek.
That's who this character is?
Yes. Played very different. She was much more like the traditional, like, subservient kind of nurse who would kind of come around, kind of more. So she was actually played by Gene Roddenberry's wife. I can't remember her name now.
Oh.
Did you watch Star Trek: The Next Generation? Deanna Troy's mom. That was the Nurse Chapel. She played Nurse Chapel in the original Star Trek.
Gotcha.
But she would come around, do things. Yes, doctor, and do her thing. I think she had a kind of a love interest of Spock too at some point in time. But regardless, this nurse seems much more integral to the plot and to the team, and not subservient at all.
Yeah, definitely. She seemed more like she was like she was a cool millennial, like, let me take care of you.
Like, there was that little moment when about the genetics, like the new number one was like, is this safe? And she's like, for most people it is. And then she just pops it into her arm. I was like,
so I liked that. That's a thing. I don't know how often they'll use, weird disguise technology in this show.
Yeah,
but
that's how I hope they do often, because I'm like, okay, that's her role now. Cool.
Yeah. So it immediately it changed their face structure. And then I was like, so then they go to beam down and I'm like, they're just wearing their regular, they change their face, but they don't change their clothes. But then when they beamed down, it changed their clothes for them.
That was my thought too. I was like, wait, do they need a costume designer too?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they got the makeup artist, the costume designer.
Maybe the doctor should have done something, because really the nurse did the entire thing. The doctor just kind of stood in the back and let it happen.
Yeah.
So he at least pick up a pair of scissors and cut him a new garb.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but I guess we didn't need that. The beaming technology is fancier than we thought. It could change.
So do you think are they streaming through the atmosphere nude for a while until they get
until they get, I mean, yeah. Who knows? I'm not even going to begin to understand that sort of technology. But probably, yeah, they're probably completely nude, just shooting through the air for a little bit.
That's what I think, just nude pieces of bodies flying through the air.
But what I really liked about this part, it really had that classic feel, that classic Star Trek feel when they get down there and they're trying to just figure out what's going on.
Yes. And this is where it came to me that I'm like, oh my God, is this going to be an episode of the week kind of a one, back at the Next Generation or the original, instead of being more the other ones were like that too, more or less, but not as much as those first two.
Yeah, exactly. Discovery, the newest one, Discovery, that one's one big
that's a huge arc
type story. Yeah.
And I'm thinking even Deep Space Nine had a big arc to it, but did have individual ones too sometimes. So they were kind of transitioning even from those ones. But yeah.
And we've talked about it a bunch. I've told you countless times to watch Orville, the Seth MacFarlane show, because it's like that. It's classic Star Trek, where it's every episode is a new thing to solve. And I do think that's what we're getting here, which is what I really enjoyed it. When that part happened, where I was like, all right, especially because then right after that, it was kind of silly and fun, and that they found people, stole their clothes, the classic take the people's clothes and pretend to be to fit in, but they sent them up to the ship and they got loose on the ship.
Now this one, no, I had now I did have a little bit of a problem with this from my medical perspective, that they had essentially abducted two people and did DNA analysis on them without their this is first contact people, and you literally have taken them, drugged them, put them on your ship, and extracting DNA from them.
And the fact that it was the comedy relief portion of it too was silly.
One of them woke up and then the nurse takes off running after him when he runs away.
They could have had
out loud to that.
Yeah, they could have had some silly music playing the whole time. But then it was even kind of silly where Uhura's talking to this person in the elevator about some sport, and then they just knock him out and they're problem solved.
So it's hit me with this great mix so far of kind of the audacity of the original series, where you're oh, come on, but with some of more of the heart and a little more of the polish of the Next Generation.
Yeah. Exactly. So they get inside, they find Rebecca Romaine.
Oh yeah, thank God.
And then
after some other people, we don't know
some other people. And then they realize that the reason that this warp bomb exists was because of their fault. This planet witnessed them with these warp drives and the wars that they were having with the Klingons or
no, with themselves,
Targaryens.
It was just a civil war. No, there was no Kardashian. Oh wait, I think it was. Are you talking about the Civil War with the planet?
No, the Star Trek people were had created some big
warp they saw the drive. War with them. Gotcha. Okay.
So they figured out the warp. They reverse engineered it, created a bomb instead of a drive, because they're not there yet in terms of their space travel.
Yeah. No spaceships, but a lot of bombs.
Exactly. Now this is another classic Star Trek moment where Captain breaks the rules and he's I'm going rogue, baby.
Yep.
And he talks to them and explains what's happening. And then I love that he's okay, this isn't working. and he doubles down, and they're like, because he shows the ship and he breaks even more rules. I was like, this guy, man, Captain Pike, he's a rule breaker.
Yep.
But and then another cool scene. So he's talking to them about what war brings and what civil war is going to bring. And I love that he's talking about war on Earth, and they showed like literal clips from the January 6th insurrection. And I was like, this is terrifying and too honest and too true, because then they're talking about the Civil War and how nuclear war happened, and like
it was Civil War in America turned into a World War III.
And then 80% of the Earth was like wiped out or whatever, and then they got domes. I don't know, dude. It was too scary. It covered my eyes. I was trying to
figure out that part out. I was like, okay, wait. So what are the domes? But then there was more left, and they could even hold in the domes, and the Earth is back now. I'm like, I don't really know what happened, but okay, it seems like we've made it through. So
as long as there's horses in Montana, the world seems to be
horses survived. It's still snowy there in the wintertime, apparently, or maybe it's nuclear winter. I don't know. Summer.
So the day is saved. Captain Pike saved the day. No war, and Star Trek wins again.
I mean, the thing that I found, we have to talk about this a little more. We can't just that's not it. We have to give a little spoiler here. So I thought it was really interesting because to me, this last scene kind of showed us what to expect with Captain Pike, how he's different from Kirk and specifically Kirk and Picard. And that I feel like in Picard's situation, it would have been a diplomatic way to end the standoff between the two different sides. And with Kirk, it would have been an all-out fight to just punching each other until they figure out who won. but Captain Pike used like a combination of both. So it was like he used, kind of like got them together to negotiate with them, and then used intimidation at the end when he found out that the negotiations weren't going very well. It's basically say like, listen, you're both going to die if I am supposed to open up my weapons on you. So
that part was pretty dope. I forgot about that, where it's like, because she says something like, well, I have a bigger stick or whatever.
Yeah. So she's going to use it on the what do they call the insurrectionists?
Yeah. And he's like, and he shows her ship. He's like, I got a bigger stick, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's like, oh,
yeah, shut it down.
And actually that's genius, because it's true. Like, you'd be like, if you're going to use that weapon against your enemies, imagine if you came and like said like I would attack that city so they can't use a weapon against them. The enemies are automatically going to go on your side.
Yeah.
So it's like she lost either way at that point. So she has to give in to what he wants.
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
that was well done. Yeah.
So it worked. I was like, it's interesting.
Yeah. Good point. And then like they talk about how like this is like the introduction to the Prime Directive, which we've heard many times after that or prior to this, I guess. About how to handle, other
that was cool
alien life forms and stuff during a first contact. And like I said, there was probably a ton like Easter eggs like this that I don't know.
Oh, sure.
Pick up,
what somebody said? What did they say? Like, oh, that's never going to stick, that name, the Prime Directive.
Exactly. And I was like,
chuckle.
This is something. Yeah. And then and then it ends with him like giving his like big speech. He's talking to his crew and he's giving his speech. It's like, we're gonna they're like, what are we gonna do now? He's like, we're gonna explore. We're gonna seek out new lives and new civilizations. Boldly go.
Now, did he say no man or did he say no one?
No one. I didn't know,
because don't they go back to man in the original series?
Yeah, I think they're retconning that back to no one. But then we did meet a Captain Kirk, but it wasn't like, what was his name? I didn't even write it down. It wasn't like James Tiberius Kirk. It was like Julius Kirk or something like that.
Yeah. What was that? I forgot about that. Yeah.
So I was like, is that like, I don't know if that's gonna like, I don't know enough about the series to know what that's going to be. But I thought Captain Pike was great. The actor Anson Mount did a great job.
Yep.
I think he's going to be a good captain. I think he's going
Yeah.
to fit up there. Who's your favorite captain out of all of the? I mean, well, I know it's probably Picard, right?
Yeah.
I think that's like, yeah. After him, then, who is your favorite captain?
Probably honestly, from Voyager, probably Captain Janeway.
I know people like her a lot.
Yeah, because
I've never watched underrated. Voyager.
Did you watch that one?
Never watched it once.
I mean, she's kind of like, it's a very difficult position for her to be in is like I think she was the only woman now I'm thinking about Oh no, Discovery too.
Yeah.
But yeah, because she walked that line between, being a hard ass, but also being kind of like the ship's maternal figure too. Very interesting. So did a good job with that, I thought.
Give me your top 3 Star Trek series that you like.
Yeah. So it would definitely be The Next Generation, then Voyager. And then the only other one I really watched all the way through was Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
I've only seen bits and pieces, honestly, of the original. Like I've seen probably most of it, but I've never watched it in any order. Continuity, tribbles and all those things. I kind of know the people's names, but
yeah. So I found a list of the SyFy channel did. They ranked them, all of them, and so number 11, Star Trek the Animated Series from 1970. This is with the original cast.
I'm like, wait, Lower Decks? I haven't watched that one. People like that one though.
They do like that one. And then they have Star Trek Picard.
Okay.
Star Trek Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch that one? That was with Bakula, right?
I always forgot about that one. That's like a really early one where they just got Warp Core, right? Or Warp or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, Scott Bakula was in it. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Star Trek Discovery.
Okay.
And then Star Trek Lower Decks. Yeah, that's the new I guess it's like a comedy cartoon
I watched the first
series.
episode and I couldn't get into it, but I've heard especially the second season it really takes off and is so I want to. All
right, and then Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Prodigy, which is another animated series.
I don't even know that one. Okay.
It's a pseudo sequel series to Star Trek Voyager. It's got Captain Janeway in it. But it's like all like computer generated, like CGI animations.
Okay, cool.
And then number 3, Star Trek the Original Series. Number 2, Star Trek the Next Generation, and number 1, Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Now I was seeing like I looked at 5 different rankings, and like all of them had Deep Space Nine as number 1 or 2, and I was like, I need to go watch Deep Space Nine because I know like a friend of mine loves Deep Space Nine and he watches it like on repeat.
Like I have to tell you, like I thought it was fine, but at a certain point in time it clicks and it shifts. So like that's why to me it's not my favorite, because I feel like some of the other ones were better all the way through.
Gotcha.
That one, but when it got good, it got very good.
Yeah, it said it was the first pre-peak TV series to embrace long-form serialized storytelling. It says Star Trek Deep Space Nine was and still is the bastard rule-breaking stepchild of the Trek universe, and it is all the better for it. But yeah, I did read that like the first 2 seasons took a little while to click, and then like it just got to be like amazing television. So
you would like it definitely because there's a guy on there that you would love. I don't know if you read about him, but
no,
I think you're ideal.
I don't know anything about it. I know it's got like the black captain, right?
Yep.
I've seen like pictures of him, and then like some other aliens. Ferengis, is there Ferengis in it, or is that Voyager?
A lot of Ferengis, Bajorans. There's a couple. There's another race that you didn't mention that's very unique. Like as much as I like Deanna Troi and her ability to read minds, like I think you'll find this particular race to be like right what you would really love.
All right, I'll put it on the list. I'll give it a shot just because like I watched it when it first came out, like when it was airing on television, brand new, and it didn't do anything for me. I remember I was excited for it.
No, this is the perfect thing to watch, like playing, like if you're going to play a video game or looking just in the background, just watch it. And then if you get into it, you get into it. If not, it's just on. Yeah.
And I think it's still on like Netflix.
It is.
So
sweet. That's about watching it again too. Cause I like you said, people keep talking about it. I'm like, maybe I should watch it all again and see if now, like, I watched it like 10 years ago all the way through for the first. I'm like, now maybe I should watch it again now. So
yeah. And then who is your favorite Star Trek characters of all time? I know we know Picard. We've talked about him.
He's my favorite captain. So
Deanna Troi,
Beverly Crusher, and Deanna Troi.
Crusher. Okay.
Very tough for me.
Yeah. It is let's see, who's my favorite Star Trek character? I like that Scotty.
Of course. Yep.
He's pretty cool.
Give it else has got, Captain.
Yeah. He's a silly dude. Yeah, I like Geordie LaForge.
Yep. I can see you liking him totally. Did you like number
Data?
one in Next Generation?
Oh yeah, he was my favorite.
I was gonna say I
forgot about him
a lot.
Picard is my favorite. It was always my favorite.
Yeah.
But yes, dude.
Because he's smart, but he's also like the women are into him. He's tough.
Yep,
like he was. Exactly. I feel like that's like your life goals would be like. Yeah. And
I'll tell you, I didn't like yellow shirt lieutenant security lady with the blonde hair.
Tasha Yar.
We talked about her. Didn't like her. I didn't like Wesley Crusher, which no one liked Wesley Crusher.
Oh no, no one liked him. Did you see the episode where she died, Tasha Yar? Did we talk about this in the past?
We did talk about it. Yes, we did talk about that.
I remember catching that one, the previews, and being like, oh, one of them dies.
Yeah, like, we talked about it when we did the retro rewind of of Next Generation.
Yeah,
and then
I hope no one dies in this series.
I know it's gonna happen. But yeah, that so that number one from this series, she grew on me, which we didn't mention that, like, since Rebecca Romijn's back to take that spot, she has now become the head of security.
Yep,
which
and I was like,
fits her role. Yeah,
yep.
She's tough, take no prisoners.
It'd be good for her. Yeah, and she right now she's wounded, so it's kind of like that's a good role for her. So we'll see. I'm excited to see how she grows.
Yeah. So, all right, let's give our rating on this one. What is your first step scale rating on this bad boy?
Easy binge. Loved every moment of it.
Yes, me too. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm excited for it. Unfortunately, it's one of those weekly series. We can't binge it all because they definitely would. It would be one of those like rainy Sundays you watch the entire first season,
Yeah. I can't, like, the thing about I know that it was a really highly rated for me because when it was over with, I wanted to instantly look up the characters and learn more about them. But there's not much out there because they're brand new.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Like, I started watching trailers because did you see that they released trailers for like each one of the people?
Oh, that's
cool. They would have their name, and it was like, like I looked up what's his name? I can't think of the doc's name. Apparently, he was also in the original series. He was like the backup for Bones.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't think of his name now, but like he has his own trailer, and they kind of show like update like what they kind of do throughout the season. And I watched a couple of those, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah.
I'll have to check those out. Yeah, because I definitely want more. I thought it was great. And going back to the older series like Next Generation, the original series where episodic, there's a something that needs to be solved, and they have to use their Star Trek ways, their Federation know-how to get things done, and I love it. It's like I said, it's the same reason I thought Orville was great, and this is like, it's fine. It's what I've been wanting for in a Star Trek series for a long time. So
yes. I can't wait to learn more about what each of their kind of flaws are and each of their strengths are. Because right now we only have a snippet. Like I think the people that we know the most about really are the captain and Spock, obviously, just because we know his history, and the captain had the most airtime and everything. But that's what these shows are great for. I mean, I'm sure as we explore more, we're going to learn more about the first officer, about Rebecca Romijn, about the new head of security, what their backgrounds are, and then maybe they'll go on holodecks. I thought of that when I was watching. I'm like, I think they have a holodeck. Will they be like in the old Wild West again? I hope so.
Oh man, yeah. I wonder. There's so much. There's a huge void that's been missing in the Star Trek world, and I think this could fill that void. So yeah, there's so much that could be done with this series. So hopefully it continues to be to do well.
There's supposedly somebody that we didn't see. They showed. Did you see briefly the a preview for the upcoming one?
Yeah.
Did you see the guy that has he's like a white alien guy with
yes. I saw him when I looked up like pictures of the cast. He was one of the things that came up.
Like he's gonna be the chief engineer. So and apparently though he's blind. In real life, the actor is. but the character is also, and he has heightened other senses. And I'm like, what does
Daredevil
this mean?
style alien, man.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to some potential psychic powers, and I'm not really sure. Again, really, even if he's not, it's fine. But
yeah, he's got some sort of powers. But yeah, there weren't many. Like, we didn't see any like aliens besides Spock on the crew, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I feel like they're all human then. They're all, I mean, every different like race of human possible, and possibly sexuality too. I'm not sure about that, but there's some folks that I have some doubts about. My gator was going off. We'll see.
Like the other, like the navigator chick with like the shaved.
That's the one. I'm like, I can see a little love interest developing there between her and maybe the nurse. Sapphic oats.
Okay,
I don't know.
Who knows, baby? It's Star Trek. Anything goes.
That was just where my mind went.
Exactly. But all right, yeah, that was Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. 16 thumbs up from First Eps crew.
From two dudes.
2 dudes with 8 thumbs each.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's it. Yeah, so go watch the show, Paramount Plus. There's gonna be 10 episodes, airs weekly. And yeah, that's all I've got to say.
I would recommend, if you don't have Paramount Plus, go wait until it goes on a little bit more again, and then so there's a couple of a backlog, so you can watch like 3 or 4 episodes and then watch it, because it's really worth it. And see if you want to pay for it, because what is it, $5 a month? It's not much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the ads or whatever.
Yeah. It was just like watching regular TV, and it's fine. You can watch a great show, and you can watch all the other Star Trek episodes that are out there from.
There's a lot of stuff.
The newer Star Treks.
And what else? Halo. We just talked about Halo is also on there. So yeah, Paramount Plus is shaping up to be a pretty good streaming spot. I just watched Interstellar on there. And that's cool. Yeah. So the movies, they show ads at the beginning, and then they're ad free for the remainder. So yeah, there's lots of good stuff on there. Nice. They got the Quiet Place movie, the Paranormal Activity movie, Paw Patrol, dude, all the classics.
Perfect.
Yes. But, all right, that's it for us here at First Eps. Thanks so much for watching or listening. If you want to check us out visually, go to Pop Culture Playground. That's our YouTube channel. You can see us there. If you want to listen to us anywhere podcasts are available, you will find our show. If you get it from iTunes Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can leave us a 5-star review, or write something nice. Say how sexy I sound with my cold. Right?
Yeah. Please do. Please write that. Because we can try to recreate it every week. Just have your child cough in your face and hope for the best.
Exactly. That's the way to go. And then check out our socials. We're on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Now, we are First Eps
What's
Podcast.
Our most viral video? I've been looking. I've seen this a lot lately. It's like what is your most your most liked video? So what are we up to?
Yeah, I mean, not like on TikTok.
On TikTok, like 8 hearts, maybe 10.
No, we got a lot of likes. I think our most like viewed one, like the one that like got picked up by the TikTok algorithm, it was one for our flag means death. It was one of our TikToks from that episode, talking about our pirate flags that we would have. So that has been our most viewed. But we're steadily getting more and more traction as I'm like starting to use that service more. When I first got onto the TikTok, I was like, I don't know what this is. Yeah. But now I'm starting to like update it more and more. Yeah. So
it's kind of fun.
Pretty soon we'll start doing dances. Screen. Yeah, we'll do some dances soon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So make sure you follow us there. First Eps Podcast, see our dances, and we'll do sexy things. That's how you get all the views.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what we're going to do, but if you tune
in, who knows?
You will see if you tune in.
Exactly. Yeah. Go follow us there and get ready for the sexy dances.
God. Let me lose 5 pounds first.
Yeah. All right. That's it for us. Thanks so much for checking out another episode of First Eps, and we will see you next week with more new streaming television. Bye-bye.
Once there was this kid who
Took a dump inside a potato chip bag.